It's the year 2000. A tiny startup with 300 employees drives to Dallas, Texas, to meet with the most powerful entertainment company in the world. They're asking to be bought for $50 million. The big company laughs them out of the room. 10 years later, that same startup was worth over $8 billion. The company that laughed at them, dead, bankrupt, gone. 4,000 locations shuttered almost overnight. This is the story of the greatest corporate blunder in the history of entertainment. How Netflix, a company that was almost nothing, destroyed an empire that had 9,000 stores, 60,000 employees, and nearly $10 billion behind it. And it wasn't just about streaming. It wasn't just about DVDs. It was about one company that saw the future and one that refused to look at it. Let's get into it. To understand Blockbuster's fall, understand its size. At its 2004 peak, 9,000 stores, 60,000 employees, $6 billion a year. If you grew up in the 80s or 90s, Blockbuster was Friday night, driving over, walking the aisles, grabbing a movie. Every week, Blockbuster knew that ritual's power. Late fees alone brought in $800 million a year for returning a tape 2 days late. Customers complained but kept paying. There was nowhere else to go. Blockbuster had every movie, every location, total control. What they didn't have was humility, and that one missing thing would cost them everything. It's 1997. Reed Hastings returns Apollo 13 to Blockbuster. 6 weeks late, the fee, $40. Too embarrassed to tell his wife, he drove to the gym instead. Somewhere on that treadmill, an idea struck. Why does renting work like this? Hastings later admitted the story was embellished, but the idea was real. Watch any movie, anytime, with no late fees. In 1997, he co-founded Netflix with Mark Randolph. Pay monthly, pick DVDs online, they mail them to you. No late fees, no hassle. It wasn't profitable, not close. Netflix lost $11 million in 1998, $30 million in 1999, $57 million in 2000. The clock was ticking. So in 2000, Hastings called Blockbuster's Dallas headquarters, asked for a meeting with CEO John Antioco, and flew out to make a deal. The offer, buy Netflix for $50 million. Blockbuster gets Netflix's online operation, and Hastings even offers to run Blockbuster.com. Blockbuster's executives laughed, not politely. The Netflix team left humiliated. $50 million felt like too much for a company that wasn't real business. To be fair, the decision wasn't obviously wrong. Netflix was losing millions. The internet was slow. Streaming was impossible. Who would use this? Big decisions rarely feel wrong when you make them, only in hindsight. Blockbuster made a rational call. It destroyed them. Netflix went home empty-handed, $57 million in the red. But Hastings didn't quit. He started hiring Silicon Valley's best engineers to build streaming. From 2000 to 2004, subscribers trickled in. 1 million, then 2, then 3. Blockbuster kept laughing. 9,000 stores, billions in revenue. But something shifted. Every returned DVD taught Netflix what you liked. They were building a data machine while Blockbuster counted candy bars. In 2003, Netflix posted its first profit, just $6.5 million. Tiny, but it proved the model actually worked. 2004, Netflix hit $500 million in revenue. Blockbuster finally launched Blockbuster Online, and for a moment, it actually worked. Blockbuster Online hit 1 million subscribers, then 2. No late fees, in-store returns. For 18 months, Netflix was genuinely scared. Hastings later admitted Blockbuster's Total Access plan had Netflix in, his words, checkmate. That's the CEO saying they nearly lost. Then something shifted that had nothing to do with Netflix. Blockbuster's own board turned on Antioco, the CEO actually fighting the war. His replacement, Jim Keyes, said in 2007, "I've been frankly confused by this fascination with Netflix." He thought Redbox was the real threat. 2007, Netflix fired the killing shot. Not a better DVD, not lower prices, something nobody saw coming, streaming. In January 2007, Netflix launched Watch Instantly. Stream straight to your computer. No disc, no mail, no waiting. Just click and watch. The internet was finally fast enough. Broadband had spread across America. The infrastructure Hastings quietly built for years was ready to switch on. That same year, Blockbuster's CEO hired 7-Eleven execs to plan snack displays, popcorn, soda, candy, while Netflix launched streaming. The numbers: 2007, 7.5 million Netflix subscribers; 2008, 9.4; 2009, 12.3; 2010, 20 million. Faster every year as Blockbuster emptied. In 2007, Blockbuster lost 500,000 subscribers in one quarter. In 2008, losses topped $1 billion. The empire was crumbling. September 2010, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. 9,000 stores, 60,000 jobs, a company once worth $8.4 billion, gone in 13 years. Before the lessons, one story nobody forgets. It involves an actual kitchen sink, and it says everything about the arrogance that killed Blockbuster. In 2004, Hastings told Wall Street how hard Blockbuster was competing. "They've thrown everything at us but the kitchen sink." Days later, a package arrived at Netflix. Hastings opened it, an actual kitchen sink. Blockbuster mailed him a joke while their company died. Hastings reportedly kept the sink. Spending money mailing a joke instead of investing in their future sums up exactly what went wrong. Blockbuster collapsed and Netflix excelled. Hastings understood killing your competitor isn't the goal. Building something so good they become irrelevant is. 2010 Canada, 2011 the UK and Latin America, 2012 Europe, 2016 130 countries in one day. A DVD company in California went global, but the biggest move was the content bet. In 2013, Netflix released House of Cards, all 13 episodes, all at once, same day. They didn't just change what people watched, they changed how. Binge watching wasn't a word before Netflix engineered it deliberately. Their algorithm knew what you wanted before you did. Every thumbnail, every preview, every autoplay was tested on millions of users first. Today, Netflix has 300 million subscribers and a market cap past $400 billion, bigger than Disney, Warner Brothers, and Paramount combined. 5 lessons from this story almost nobody talks about, and everyone applies right now in 2026 to whatever you're building. Lesson 1. The innovator's dilemma is real. Blockbuster couldn't kill its own model. $800 million in late fees felt impossible to leave. The companies most at risk are the ones making the most money the old way. The bigger your revenue, the harder it is to walk away. Lesson 2. Culture is strategy. Blockbuster's real problem was internal. Franchisees resisting change, a board firing the CEO, fighting the right battle. Netflix's culture, radical transparency, no bureaucracy, fire fast, hire better, was the opposite. Their culture was a competitive weapon. Lesson 3. Convenience always wins. Blockbuster had more movies, but Netflix was easier. Every friction point removed was one more reason to stay. People don't choose the best option, they choose the easiest good enough one. Every disruptor won by being easier, not necessarily better. Lesson 4. Data is the new store. Blockbuster had 9,000 physical stores. Netflix built one invisible store that knew everything about you. Every pause, rewind, and abandoned show feeds the algorithm. That data is why the recommendations work and why you stay. Lesson 5. Netflix nearly died 3 times. Unbearable losses in 2000, checkmate in 2004, and 800,000 lost subscribers in 2011. Most companies don't die from one failure. They die giving up in the ugly middle. Netflix went through that middle 3 times and never stopped. So, where is Netflix in 2026? 300 million subscribers, $38 billion in revenue, and content budgets dwarfing Hollywood. They're no longer pretending. They are entertainment. But new threats loom. Disney+, Prime, HBO Max, and Apple TV. Every media company having watched Netflix kill Blockbuster now fears becoming Blockbuster. Here's the uncomfortable question. Could Netflix become Blockbuster? Too comfortable, too slow, too reliant on what made them great, and miss what's next. Hastings wrote a book, No Rules, warning that a company's biggest risk is believing what made it great will keep it great. Blockbuster didn't fail because they were stupid. They failed because they were successful. Success convinces you you're right while the world changes. Netflix understood the customer's needs always change. Stop designing around where they're going. instead of where they've been. And you start dying. This isn't history, it's happening now in every industry. AI is doing to knowledge work what streaming did to video rental. That $50 million offer Blockbuster rejected would be worth roughly $20 billion today. That's what one bad decision in one Dallas meeting room costs. Every industry has a Netflix and a Blockbuster. Disruption isn't coming, it's already here. The only question, which one are you building? If this gave you a new way to think about your business, drop it in the comments. I want to know what industry is next. Want to see disruption playing out in AI right now? Who the next Netflix might be? That video's right there. See you in it.